Hi guys, welcome to my channel where we talk books, writing and making money from the arts. I also share snippets of life as a published author based in Kenya. Today, I want you to see a little bit more of my digs, or which is my little cottage in Kajiado. For those of you who've been watching my videos, you might have noticed that the wall behind me is white. And no, I didn't paint the walls. I actually moved house. Yes, I moved. I had to. Funny story. My previous house, which is in the same estate, thank God, needed some repair work, and I was not willing to live on a construction site. I remember, was it 2021? My mom was painting her house. I stayed with her for a couple of weeks, and it was a very disruptive process because it raises so much dust. And she was lucky because she had two people who can clean the house in the morning and in the afternoon, and I don't have that, it's just me. So I was not willing to live on a construction site, and it was a bit of a nightmare for a while there because I thought I'd have to move, and I really love this estate. But fortunately, sometimes the universe takes with one hand but gives with the other. This house became available. My landlady is actually abroad, and the move happened so fast. In fact, like, this is a 3-bedroom house with an SQ. All of them are, standing on 1/8 of an acre. And, with your own gate, which I love because of the privacy. But I don't have use of the SQ because her things are still in there. That's how fast the move happened. I've been in this house for 3 months now, and it's been great. I really love this house. It's exactly the same house in terms of the square footage, but there are a couple of differences between this house and the other one, which I will show you as well, because as I said, at the end of this video, there will be a full home tour. So stay, keep watching and you'll be able to see that. I managed to film a few clips of the moving process and the cleaners because I moved on a Friday. And then the cleaners came on a Wednesday, which was 2 days before. I managed to capture a few snippets. This footage was shot on my phone, and I'm a complete rookie when it comes to YouTube, so bear with me. The footage may be a little bit shaky or blurry in some places, but you'll get the general gist of what's happening. So let's start with the cleaning bit of things. I already mentioned my landlady is abroad, but all her stuff was in this house. I remember her sofas were covered in dust sheets, and she had the bed and everything, curtains and all of that. So I came to see the house when all her stuff was in here, and boy, it was so dusty. I remember opening a couple of cupboards, and the spiders had made themselves very comfortable. So it had been a while since it had been cleaned. So I knew immediately that I needed to bring in Jace cleaners. Jace cleaners I've worked with them for a while. Honestly, they are so good. And me, what I like doing is if I move into a new construction, like now my previous house was a new construction. Construction dust is not a joke. I mean, I once made the mistake of moving into a newly constructed house, and for what felt like 3 months after that, we were still trying to get dust from the underside of cupboards and drawers and things like that. So these days I make life easy for myself. Just bring in people who know what they are doing. They clean the house from top to bottom, and then they leave you with a nice blank slate, and then you can just continue. So that's what happened. And the other thing I wanted is because I didn't want to move into a new house, which is freshly cleaned with my curtains, which were dirty. So one of the things that Titi did, she sent a team of 6 people. Yeah, it takes like 6 people to clean, a house, and they are here the whole day from like 7 to maybe 5 o'clock. So one of the team members, Elizabeth, started in my house, and she took down the curtains and the shears, and she washed them. Now, fun fact, Titi, who is the one who owns Jace Cleaners, tells me Kitengela is the only place where they don't steam clean curtains. Yeah, so for those of you who don't know, curtains can actually be cleaned when they don't have to be taken down. They can be cleaned when they're still on the wall. But because Kitengela is so dusty, that is the only place where they insist they pull them down and they hand wash them and they hang them up. So she came, she took down the curtains, and then she went outside my laundry area, and then she washed them and hung them up, and then she joined the rest of the team who are cleaning this house. This house is just a few meters from my old house. So other than the curtains, the other reason I was actually keen to have professional cleaners come and actually clean the house from top to bottom is there are 7 areas which cleaners will clean that you might not like be able to tackle in your everyday cleaning. And one of those areas is the wipe walls. The other thing is that the estate behind me, phase 4 of this, or cot 4, we call it cot 4 of this estate, is being constructed. So yeah, there's been a lot of dust. So at the time, they're almost done, but there's been a lot of dust. So of course, it even accumulates on the wall. So they come, they wipe walls. The other thing they do is sometimes when a house is being painted, some paint drips onto like the glass of the doors or of the windows. And I noticed that in this house. So they go into all the nooks and crannies and they clean that. They also do the same thing to the skirting and the sockets. They clean around them. They go into the wardrobes, cleaning every corner, inside, outside, up, down, which was great because yeah, those spiders needed to go. They're not welcome here anymore. And then the other areas, of course, on top of the door. You know, that glass part which you might not reach, so they clean that as well. They clean the curtain rod. The other thing they do for you is cleaning around the light fixtures, because I mean light fixtures are very hard to get to, and sometimes you're afraid they're so delicate they'll break, so they do that for you, both the porch lights and also the interior lights. The final thing they do is they remove these stickers around on the sanitary wares, you know, the sinks and the hand basins and the toilets. I mean, I'm really happy for manufacturers of this stuff that they found a new way of marketing themselves, so that you've seen those empty house tour videos where there are all these stickers on these loose. But I mean, once you've bought the house or you've rented it, and then you don't want to walk into the bathroom every day and look at that sticker with some hideous, you know, color. So that's the other thing. They're not easy to remove, but trust me, just cleaners got them all out. So this house is about a year old. Okay, I've been in this estate slightly over a year, let me put it that way. So, I mean, clearly the people who are cleaning it the first time did not think to do that. But yeah, me, I'm particular about details like that. So that's it. So just cleaners came on a Wednesday, left me a nice, spotlessly clean house. And I also shot, after they finished, I actually shot on my phone again, the empty house. So you'll be able to see again snippets of that before, you know, all my stuff was put in. So then, of course, Alpha Movers now came in on Friday. So once we were done with the cleaning, and then now, of course, it was time to move. I've used Alpha Movers a couple of times. Honestly, Kibet and the team do a wonderful job, and they're just really professional. So, of course, I called them. And because I was moving within the estate, there was no way I was going to wake up at the crack of dawn to move houses. Before that, there's someone who comes and does an assessment. Then they come and check how much stuff you have and where you're moving to, and then of course they make the decision on the costing. So in my case, it was actually ridiculous. They didn't even need a vehicle. We moved everything, just walking from one house to the other, including me, the stuff I needed to pack. So they came. I told them to come after 10 because I wanted to, you know, sleep, have a good night's sleep, wake up, make my breakfast, and then finish without being rushed. Wash the dishes nicely, put them on the rack, alafu nizikaushe, and then put them in the cupboard so that when they come, they're ready for me. And also the things I needed to pack, because, you know, movers always recommend you, you know, your personal effects, your laptops, you know, your phone and other electronics, your jewelry, you know, your underwear, you know, sensitive stuff. They tell you to pack those and then put them somewhere. So in my case, I packed them all and I put them on this little white table behind me. That's why I stashed all of them. And then at some point in the move, I went and stashed them in the guest bedroom. At that time, it was the carpet was empty, so I thought that would be a great place to put them, you know, where they're out of the way of the movers. And then once the whole move was done, then I can go and panga the house pole pole. It was a very easy move. As I said, I think it took something like 3 hours. They were done by lunchtime, which was great. And then I had the rest of the afternoon to myself. So again, on my phone, I shot a few clips of as we moved back and forth.
Trouble, you best beware. And though deep down, I know I might be headed for teardrops. Now that you got me started, I just can't stop. No, no.
Oh, so you still shrink wrap it even though you're going a very short distance?
Yes.
It's interesting. I actually didn't think you'd shrink wrap anything other than the sofa.
Dust.
Yeah, Kitengela is a place of dust. Dust, dust, and more dust. Yeah, when you do it goes faster. Just don't shrink wrap her in the process.
Let you go, baby. I just wanna tell you that no, 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 no. Yeah. All of my friends say, girl, you better take care, 'cause that man is trouble, you best beware. And though deep down I know I might be headed for teardrops, now that you got me started, I just can't stop. No, no. 'Cause I love you, baby. I can't let you go, baby. I gotta tell you that I've been looking for love so true. When I was down and out, along came you. Though you might be a liar and a cheat too, I just can't quit you now 'cause I love you. Yes, I do. I can't let you go, baby. I can't let you go, baby. 'Cause I love you, I love you, I love you. No, 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 no.
Before I show you the full house tour, I also want to update you on a couple of things that have changed in this house. The main one being the seats. Well, my seats, I've had, like my main sofa, the green one, I've had that chair since it's been more than 20 years. And the last time I reupholstered it, honestly, it's been too long. And it was in such bad shape, it needed a little bit of love. So I had decided that I wanted to reupholster all my chairs. So the sofa, and then the blue seat, which you'll remember from the last video, but I'll also insert some footage for those of you who didn't see that for the befores, and then you can see the after. And then the other thing I did is I had one accent chair, which is green, a floral design, which has moved to the office. Okay, and then I brought in some 2 accent chairs. So let's start with my green sofa. My green sofa, I think, was made back in 2002, if I'm not wrong. By a fundi, very talented fundi called Abu. That time he was working for an Islamic college somewhere in Langata. And I managed to track him down, which was a minor miracle of sorts. He works from Rongai. He has a workshop there. So he came, he picked the seats. I wanted to stick to the green because I love green. So I really wanted to stick to the green color scheme. So he started with, so after he delivered the green seats, his guys collected the blue seat. That one was it was in worse shape than the green one. Now the blue seat is actually a very old seat. I don't know how old it is because it's a hand-me-down. My sister Kajeni got it from a friend when she was living in the country. Then Kajeni used it for a while. Then when she was going to South Africa, she left it to my mom. Then my mom used it for a while. And we're talking years when I say a while. And then one day she decided to change her seats. And she asked around who has space in the house. I happened to have some space in my 2-bedroom clean shelf apartment in Langata. So I told her, bring the seat. So the seat was brought. And for a while I didn't know if I was going to keep it because I thought I'd give it away. But then now when I realized, when I actually got the space to have like an office, you'll notice that if you watch my last video, my desk was actually in the dining nook, but now I've moved it into one of the bedrooms. And the reason for that is very simple. That room has the best light in the house. The views are so great. And I need to have my desk in front of a window to really spur my creative juices. So once I had the desk there, the plan was always to put the blue seat in there. But I wanted to tweak the design a little bit. I'll insert an inspo picture here. That seat is emerald green. But I had some fabric. When my other sister, Agi, was building her house in Thika, she thought she would have like 2 living rooms because they were planning to have a basement. That didn't happen, but she had already bought the fabric. So when I told her, can I have that fabric? And she gave it to me. This is years ago, mind you. I've had this fabric for, I think like 6 or 7 years. I've just been keeping it until I could, use it. So yeah, so we took so the seat is a gift. The fabric was a gift. So all I needed to spend was labor. The accent chair, I've had this seat for the longest time. And I really love this floral design. I love this chair. This chair is actually older than me. I will insert a photograph of, must have been like, maybe 3-4 years, So this seat was like my parents' first chair. You can see initially it was leather. And then when I got it, I reupholstered it in this floral design. And as I said, it's in such good shape. It's the one chair in this house I did not have to touch. So I would have loved to have the companion chair, because now that I have a slightly bigger living room, I needed 2 chairs, in front of the window. You're seeing the images so you can see. But my mom has the companion seat for that chair, and she loves that chair. It's like her favorite chair. She's put it in a corner of her living room, kind of like the way my living room is set up, where you have a window on one side and then you have a door on the other. It receives the best light, and that's where she does her devotions and her Bible study, and she reads, I think currently she's reading Obama's book, and she just finished reading Michelle Obama's book. So I was not going to deprive her of that chair. So what I did, the next best thing, I went rooting in her garage and her store looking for something. And I found 2 gems. They didn't look like gems at the time. I will insert a photograph and a video of what they look like. A little bit tattered, also green, and what should I call it? I think I would call it like the vintage style, which has become quite popular right now. Before I even actually, let me just backtrack a little bit. I had actually thought about buying 2 accent chairs. My initial thought was to get a wing chair. Then I decided, no, I wanted a nice vintage chair. And I went into shops, and the cheapest quote I was getting was like 50,000. I was like, dude, 1 chair, 50K. No, it's not happening. So my next thing, I went to the streets. These fundis who construct chairs on the streets, and the cheapest I could get was like 25,000. Again, 1 seat. So now I was getting 50 for both seats. So I was like, no, this is not going to work. So for the long time, that's why, in fact, my living room was kind of looking empty on one side because, I've stayed in this house, as I said, a year and I didn't have chairs. But when I went to my mom's store and I found these I don't know where she got these chairs from. I think they date back to the 80s. But I looked at them and I could see the potential. So I called Abu, and he came and he looked at them and I was like, what can we do with these chairs? And then we both made a decision to do leather, because I really like the idea of green goes very well with leather. So the issue was, what kind of leather? Dark or lighter? I've always liked the idea of having a nice caramel accent, just not a whole seat, but just a little bit of it. So that's what we went with. And here are the seats. You've seen the before, here is the after. I think they turned out great. Abu is such a good fundi. So at least in terms of the seats, now every seat in my house has been reupholstered. Whatever is broken has been fixed. Like my sofa, the chairs at the back were broken. So that he also fixed. And then this exposed wood at the front. There were also some things he needed to repair, so he fixed all of that. So I'm super happy about that. So that's what I wanted to update you on. I came into the living room because I wanted to show you the other home update. I have a rug. Let me get out of the way so I can see it nice in all its glory.
All of my friends say, girl, you better take care. Cause that man is trouble, you best beware. And though deep down, I know I might be headed for teardrops. Now that you got me started, I just can't stop. No, no. Cause I love you, baby. I can't let you go, baby. I gotta tell you that I won't. I've been looking for love so true. When I was down and out, along came you. Though you might be a liar and a cheat too, I just can't quit you now 'cause I love you. Yes, I do. I can't let you go, baby. I can't let you go, baby. 'Cause I love you, I love you, I love you. No, no, no.
Now that I've shown you the little home updates, it's time for what you've been waiting for, the full house tour in 3, 2, 1. Enjoy. Okay, the other change that I've made in the living room is I've put the book dummy. If you guys watched the last video, there was this book dummy which I used as a backdrop. If you haven't watched that video, please go watch that. And I'll leave it linked in the description. I decided to put the book dummy above the bookshelf. I think it looks great, and it's the first thing you see when you walk in the door. The arrangement is, I've kept it really simple. The bottom, the two bottom shelves is just food, and then the top is, soaps, tissues, and the other non-food products. My karais are here because I don't know if you can hear, but there's a construction that's going on behind my house, and it's been really, really dusty. So I just thought I would put them in here, as well as my mops and brooms, because I realized they were getting really dusty out there. So once the construction is finished, I will see. I have some plans for this pantry, which I'll probably be sharing with you in a later video. This is the third bedroom of this house. I think you've already seen the master bedroom, and then I took over the second bedroom, which is now the office. Now this bedroom has become sort of a catch-all for the simple reason that I don't have use of the SQ. I think I mentioned it at the beginning that my landlady's things are still in there. So that is why these things are, everything is all over. As you can see, that's the door that I removed from the guest bathroom, because honestly it was getting in my way. Every time I had to navigate around it when I'm cleaning, one day I just got annoyed and I called Major the caretaker and I told him toa hii mlango, and they removed it. I've been so happy since. And then the rug in front there, which, because I bought a nice big rug which I wanted to sort of cover the both doors of the toilet and the shower. It fits very, very well in that space between the sink and the wall. So guys, that was it. I hope you enjoyed the full house tour, and there's still a lot I need to do to this place. For I'm sure you've noticed, I have art on the floor, I have art in the cupboards, I have art everywhere except where it's supposed to be, which is on the floors. I mean on the walls. So I think that's the next thing we're going to tackle, but I'm not sure in which video. But thank you for spending time with me as always. I so appreciate your company. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, buy my books. I will leave the details in the description box, and I'll catch you on the next one. Until then, remember, whatever you do, whatever life throws at you, you keep on dancing. Bye.